All right, let's get things started. The guest of honor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, AIMS founder Neil Turok, AIMS President and CEO Thierry Zomaun, honorable ministers in attendance, delegates in attendance as well, members of the press. Thank you very much for joining us. A very good evening to you, Mwaramutse. And since the other day, now we can say habari za asubuhi. So today is a very momentous occasion for two particular reasons. Number one, we get to witness history as the continent unveils an AIMS ecosystem for the continent's transformation, as has been written there. And number two, Rwanda once again plays a crucial role in pushing the continent forward. The biggest question we're asking ourselves today is, why exactly are we unveiling this here? So let's create some context. AIMS itself was founded in 2001, but His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, had the idea long before of getting a knowledge-based The fact of the matter is, Rwanda was known to many countries, not only in Africa, but on a global context, as being that country that was relatively smaller to the rest that was in the same region. And compared to the others, we didn't have as vast resources as our neighboring countries. And I say our, and you'll hear me say our and we a lot. You qualify to be a citizen by naturalization, so you'll hear that a lot within that. So the fastest way to push through was, of course, a knowledge-based economy. That's on our context here, and that's why we're here today. On a global level, we have most of the countries that most of the companies that engage in STEM-related studies or STEM-related projects are in the US. And students actually go to the US, and the number that has been floated yearly is $10 billion. The fact of the matter is, most of the students who go to study in the US are actually from Africa. So that shows that there is actually a gap, or there was a gap, because as of today, we hope to change that as history is again made here in Rwanda. So we'll be right. So I think the sound is back on. So we'll be engaging, trying to encompass what we are calling the most prestigious launch for AIMS ever done. And we'll be hearing the message that the future is here, the future is us, and indeed the future is in Rwanda. For those who have your laptops, the streaming website is www.nexteinstein.org. If you have your Twitter platforms, the hashtag is AIMS Rwanda. Let's just get our opening remarks from the AIMS President and CEO, Thierry Zomaun. Kindly join us on the podium.
Good morning. His Excellency President Paul Kagame, Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners to Rwanda, Honorable Ministers, our partner governments and multilateral institutions, the government of Rwanda, the government of Ghana, Senegal, Tanzania, Cameroon, and the UNESCO, African Development Bank, and our distinguished international partners, Canada's International Development Research Center, UK DFID, Development Fund for International Development, MasterCard, Johnson & Johnson, Robert Bosch Foundation, Google. Welcome to this ceremony. I'd like to acknowledge in this room the AIMS Global Network and Leadership and the Next Einstein Forum International Steering Committee and the Scientific Program Council. I'd like, if you allow me, to acknowledge each of my distinguished members of the Board of Directors. I will start with Madame Lydie Hakizimana. If you could rise very quickly so people can see you. Where's Lydie? Thank you. Lydie is on my international board. She's Rwandan. I'd like to welcome Mpule Kwalagobe from Botswana. Dr. Mpule was a Miss Universe 1999, so he combines both beauty and brain pageants. And I would like to welcome Lucy Quiz, Chief Executive Officer of Airtel Ghana. Where's Lucy? Thanks, Lucy. And welcome Mr. Gabi from Morocco. Gabi, so I guess I haven't forgotten my board members. Otherwise, I will be in trouble. There are two who are not here today, Cheikh Tidiane Mbaye from Senegal, and Professor Howard Alpa in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful land of 1,000 hills and the lovely city of Kigali. Mr. President, it is with immense pleasure that I stand here to welcome you. On this occasion, the launch of AIMS in making this vision a reality. Today we celebrate an in-depth conversation that started about half a year ago between the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences and the government of Rwanda. Conversation about what it means to believe and invest in Africa's youth to ensure they contribute tangibly to the continent's future. Mr. President, you have been the chief patron of AIMS Next Einstein initiative since 2008. And it's amazing to see how quickly time flies, especially when it's concerned of excellence in mathematics, science, technology, and innovation. I vividly recall when we met you in May 2015, that conversation led to an agreement with your government, and we are very fortunate to be here. Since the early 2000s, AIMS has been enabling Africa's brightest students to flourish as independent thinkers, problem solvers, and innovators capable of propelling the transformation of the continent. And as the world strives to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030 and to create the future we all want, it has been argued that the most important determinant of economic growth is the knowledge capital of nations, and the role of mathematics or mathematical sciences is essential. Let me pause a little bit here. One of the questions that people keep asking us, why should one invest in mathematical sciences? Because there are many other pressing needs. But when I'm asked that question, I simply answer that mathematics is and changing the future. And more specifically, I know most of us in this room have Facebook pages. Without logarithms, there will be no Facebook. Without trigonometry, there will be no pyramid. Without equations, there will be no telescope. And who could build bridges without calculus? So, from Shakespeare to Chinua Achebe, from Galileo to Zuckerberg, history has it even matters from partial differential equations to cosmology and astrophysics, through to number theory, through to data science, financial math. The role and relevance of math is indisputable. Today, we all stand at a tipping point where Africa needs to build its homegrown capability in science, technology, and innovation. The ecosystem of Pan-African transformation that we celebrate today, Mr. President, will facilitate young African capacity in mathematics, science, technology, and innovation. Two, it seeks to facilitate discovery and technical advances through cutting-edge research. And three, it seeks to promote industry and economic advancement. Four, we would like to promote impactful public engagement. As an example, we've invited here two Miss Mathematics who have won the rigorous competition in their countries in Guinea-Conakry. We're supporting this initiative, which we want to bring up to a Pan-African level. And if Thea and Bintu are in the room, could you please rise so the President and our distinguished guests can see you? These are young, bright African girls of high school. Merci. Promote impactful public engagement. We also have been chosen this year as an ambassador organization to partner with Conakry, Capitale Mondiale du Livre, Conakry, the world capital of the book, which His Excellency President Condé is organizing in Guinea this year. We also seek to facilitate in that ecosystem lifelong learning and inspiration. Basically, we want to increase the pipeline of young women and men in STEM fields across the continent. And finally, the ecosystem will be fostering and showcasing scientific and technological excellence. I recall that you were in Dakar with President Macky Sall for the first unprecedented edition of the next Einstein Forum. So I'm sure His Excellency will say a few words. Have the next one here in Kigali. Distinguished guests, the AIMS ecosystem of Pan-African transformation we're celebrating in Rwanda will be one of a kind community that will attract the best global talent to resolve some of Africa's and the world's grand challenges. So on behalf of the AIMS Global Network, I'd like to extend my heartfelt and sincere thanks to His Excellency Paul Kagame, to his government, for making AIMS transition to Rwanda a tremendously smooth and very successful experience. I'd like to say, let us all enjoy today's celebration. And if you want me to add a local flavor to it, I will try Moreke. Murakoze.
Thank you very much, Thierry. At this particular point, because we've heard about the AIMS ecosystem, let's just see what exactly that is about.
% of the world's youth will be African. Africa's youth represents the world's greatest untapped pool of scientific and technical talent. The African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, in partnership with the government of Rwanda, is creating a knowledge ecosystem that will invigorate and will gather Africa's brilliant young minds and enable them to solve problems, make discoveries, and spark ideas for industry and economic advancement. It will become a focal point for AIMS networks and initiatives throughout the continent. Quantum Leap Africa will pursue breakthrough advances at the frontiers of data science and quantum technology, preparing Africa for the next industrial revolution. The next Einstein Forum will showcase Africa's emerging scientific and technological talent, informing and exciting the public and impacting decision-making in government and industry. AIMS Industry Initiative will foster skills development for the public and private sector. AIMS Teacher Training Program will cultivate lifelong learning and inspire students to tackle real-world problems. AIMS Women in Science programs will promote gender equality and inclusion throughout the ecosystem. We have reimagined how sustainable architecture can catalyze the sharing of ideas and discovery by providing inspirational platforms for interaction and community engagement. Located in the Kigali Innovation City, the new Africa-focused innovation hub, the AIMS knowledge ecosystem will accommodate 100 scientific leaders annually from across Africa. Two mirrored U-shaped facilities, the academic block and the habitat block, focus around a community park. The academic block includes spaces for teaching, seminars, workshops, and an open interactive area for students to learn and experiment with advanced technical tools. Researchers are accommodated in attractive state-of-the-art labs. The community park runs through the facility, emphasizing the unity, purpose, and sustainability of the design. The park encourages interaction. It serves as a space for sharing ideas and hosting events such as graduations, forums, public lectures, and science festivals. The Habitat Block is a comfortable modern living environment where students and researchers can unwind and refresh. Welcome to the future of learning and science in Africa. This is the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences.
Please, a warm round of applause. The future is indeed here. Now, we know there are obviously a lot of questions regarding where would something of such magnitude, of such size be, when will it be completed? So the next people who speak should be able to touch on some details on that. If not, after the coffee break, we have a press conference as well. Any members of the press or anyone else would like to know more details, that would be the time. So we'd like to understand, for those of you who maybe want your kids to join or are interested in the AIMS programs or courses, to hear what exactly it means being part of AIMS. So let's hear from Eva Ujeneza, who's an AIMS alumni.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Professor Nichirok, AIMS founder, Mr. Thierry Zumahun, President and CEO of AIMS, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, and AIMS family. My name is Eva Liliane Ujeneza, and I am a graduate of AIMS South Africa, 2011. It is a great honor for me to stand here as an AIMS alumnus to tell you about my journey as a young mathematician from the National University of Rwanda to a doctorate student at the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa. Thanks to my parents' academic background, I have always strived to gain a PhD. My biggest dream when I was young was to be like my father and earn a doctorate degree. However, in 1994, when the greatest tragedy hit our country, my life changed. My father got sick, and he passed away a few hours after. And then my worries shift from earning a PhD to getting someone to pay for my yearly school fees. But thanks to my extended family, friends, and the local authorities, I did make it to the National University of Rwanda. So I began my higher education there in applied mathematics under the scholarship from the government of Rwanda, and I graduated in 2010. After my bachelor's degree, I was teaching in a high school, a girls' high school, NDP RWANDA in Huye. At the time, I knew I wanted to continue my studies, but unfortunately, my salary was too low to cover the tuition towards a master's degree. So when one of my lecturers, called Verdiana Masanja, advised me to apply to AIMS, she told me that the scholarship at AIMS covers full tuition, board, and lodging. So I jumped on the opportunity and I applied. However, I knew I was competing with more than 300 applicants from the whole continent. So I did not really expect to get in. So you can imagine my excitement and my happiness once the admission letter came in and I found myself among the 50 successful applicants. A lot of things have changed in my life since I attended AIMS. An important transformation I would like to say is the skills that I have learned on a scientific and networking level. AIMS has taught me to build strong relationships and collaborations with people that I encounter every day. AIMS has given me the skills to be competitive on the African level and on a global one. I had to fly all the way from Rwanda to Cape Town to go through this great experience. However, for the young Rwandan today, this great opportunity has been brought to our doorstep. So I think they are very lucky, and I hope we all feel that and realize how great AIMS is for our country. I am currently pursuing a PhD in biomathematics at the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa. I have scholarships from the South African Center of Excellence for modeling of epidemiological data, and also from a highly competitive European Faculty for the Future scholarship that only found the best the best applicants from the whole of the world that are studying towards a doctorate degree in STEM. So to the young girls listening to me today, I want to say this: yes, you can. AIMS has given me the capacity to have my dream back. Today, I am living my dream. I am doing a PhD in mathematics. You can be a scientist. You can be a mathematician. You can be an engineer. With institutions like AIMS, that make sure women are well represented in each promotion, with a country like Rwanda that promotes women in leadership positions and that encourages young girls to take up STEM careers, you have a lot of support and structures available for you to help you achieve your dreams. So my current research focuses on modeling the long-term effects of highly active antiretroviral therapy on the immune system of people that are living with HIV in Africa. Given that sub-Saharan Africa carries the burden of more than 70% of the burden of the AIDS epidemic, knowing exactly how treatments interact with the immune system is crucial for our continent. The strength of Africa lies in its people. Therefore, the use of mathematical modeling in ensuring that our growing population have access to safe and effective medicine is a key to the development of our continent. In summary, AIMS did not only provide me with a degree in mathematical sciences, but it also opened up for me a lot of opportunities that I might not have had access to. AIMS has also provided to me a platform where I had the opportunity to meet other Rwandan AIMS alumni, especially the two ladies with whom I have started an association for Rwandan women scientists and engineers, RWANDA. The aims of RWANDA is to encourage and mentor young girls into STEM and also to provide a networking hub for Rwandan women in science. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government of Rwanda and AIMS for their endless support toward my journey and also toward the youth of our country. I would like also to thank Professor Nichirok for his great vision of AIMS that has been extended to 5 centers and to the ecosystem today. My supervisors, especially next Einstein Fellow, Dr. Wilfred Diffon, who is here today with us, Ms. Ikuzwe Alice and Marie Chantal Kyurinana, the AIMS alumni I have built RWANDA with. I can absolutely not end without thanking His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, for making science and technology key components for the development of our country, and for his great contribution is enabling the implementation of the AIMS ecosystem in Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eva. Neil, you've been mentioned. You're up next. Please join me in welcoming the AIMS founder, Neil Turok.
Well, what a very special day this is. We are here to celebrate many things. We want to celebrate the precious gift of understanding the universe around us and how knowledge sharing brings progress. We're here to celebrate Africa, our beautiful home, the birthplace of mathematics and also human beings. We're here to celebrate Africa's children, who bring such joy into our lives and whose minds hold the key to the future. We're here to build a knowledge ecosystem which will impact the whole of society, from changing the life chances of kids to sparking innovation in industry and placing Africa on the leading edge of discovery. In information science, quantum technology, medicine, agriculture, and much more. I want to thank some special people who are among us today. Francis Kofi Alotti, the first patron of AIMS. I don't see you, Francis, but if you could rise. Romain Morenzi, whose visit to South Africa while a minister in this government to lecture our students planted the seed which blossoms today. Romain. I want to thank the whole AIMS team for whom excellence and delivery have become a way of life. I want to thank my colleagues on the newly formed National Council for Science and Technology, a remarkable set of people who met earlier this week and who will give their all to build on Rwanda's miracle and make Rwanda's dreams come true. Could you please rise? One of the first Rwandan students at AIMS, who quietly sat with me in the common room in South Africa and told me that he'd lost his whole family in the genocide. I asked every day, challenging, and he said something I think of all to the people of Rwanda, Kagame, wake of a catastrophe, a bright future based on knowledge. You are the epitome of resilience, that most human of traits, and something which Africa is. Your achievements since then have made Rwanda a very special place indeed, an example of rationality, indeed love, overcoming. You have laid the but for Africa as a whole. Hosting AIMS. Power to make this country a talent magnet, attracting bright people from across the continent and around the world, a place where minds flower and ideas are translated into prosperity, a place where scientific discoveries are made and where humankind reinvents its future. It is my privilege to introduce another very special person, François Englert, winner of the 2013 Nobel Prize in Physics. François, would you come up? Prize for something discovery in 1964 of the particles, the basic constituents of. His ideas were confirmed nearly 50 years later in the most powerful microscope ever built. This is François and his wife Mira's first visit to Africa. Express his feelings. Thank you.
Well, a few months ago, not many, I received something in my email which was called an unusual invitation. That was from my friend Neil. And he explained me what he was doing here, and I must say that I could not resist and I came. And it is for me a great experience to be here. I gave 2 lectures here. I gave lectures in which I tried to explain the whole history of the scientific discovery of the universe, if you wish. How one can scientifically, rationally have a complete or partial, that has to be seen, understanding of the universe. And what really moved me was the attention I got from their interest. I must say, for a teacher, that is very touching, and which unfortunately in the world which is supposed to be leading scientifically, in my opinion, is slightly degrading. And I found here something that was like a glimmer of hope that everything is going to come back again, that we coming from this country and from all Africa, hopefully, a new way of entering the knowledge of the universe and of everything. It's very impressive, and well, I must say that it is not always easy to when you start studying, but it's important to realize that it is possible. You see, the world today has so many different types of things that one may think it is too complicated to do things. But when you have this possibility of a youth which is now so driven to try to understand things, they will find a way to classify things in such a way that things that are not important have to be put aside, and things which are important have to be studied. This is the first thing to understand, and I'm sure that will be done. And thank you, and I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's not every day we get a Nobel laureate. Thank you very much. At this point, let's invite the Honorable Minister for Education, who will give his remarks, and then invite our guest of honor.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, Professor Turok, the founder of AIMS and director of the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics in Canada, CEO of AIMS, dear government officials here present, the Professor Francois Angre, 2013 Nobel Prize laureate physics, members of the National Council for Science and Technology, distinguished members of AIMS Network and partner institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I'm grateful to Your Excellency for gracing this occasion of the official launch of the 6th Pan-African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Rwanda. I profoundly thank Your Excellency for your support and guidance not only for establishment of AIMS in Rwanda, but also for your vision and bold actions to support science, technology, research, and innovation for Rwanda and the continent's economic and social development and growth. I thank Professor Neil Turok, the founder of AIMS and director of the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics in Canada, Thierry Zamahon, president and CEO of AIMS, and the entire team of AIMS for the excellent working relationship and close collaboration we have experienced so far. This has been essential to expedite establishment of AIMS Institute in Rwanda and the good progress that has been made in all other components of the partnership. I also thank Professor Francois Angrea, 2013 Nobel Prize laureate in physics, for the talk you gave to the students in the University of Rwanda on Friday last week. Your talk was a source of inspiration to students in the academics, especially the young researchers. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the members of the National Council for Science and Technology here present will agree with me that the AIMS ecosystem for STEM, as articulated by Thierry Zamahon, resonates well with the national policy for science and technology and innovation and research, especially in support of the triple helix linkage between academia, industry, and the community. Significantly, our partnership with the AIMS includes collaboration with several of our ongoing initiatives in support of science, technology, and research, including the Quantum Leap Africa Research Center that will work closely with the two centers of excellence in data science and Internet of Things being established in the University of Rwanda through the World Bank African Centers of Excellence project. AIMS Institute has an overriding objective to be a Pan-African Center of Excellence in mathematical sciences. One of the unique components is to develop a pipeline in support of the teaching and learning of the mathematics in primary and secondary schools in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, teacher training initiatives, and Ura College of Education. AIMS will also work in close collaboration with a third center of excellence being established in the University of Rwanda in innovative teaching and learning in mathematics and science using instructional technology. This close collaboration will ensure that the initiatives will strengthen and mutually reinforce one another. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my humble duty and privilege to request Your Excellency to address the participants gathered here today at this launch event.
Professor Neil Turok, founder of AIMS, Mr. Thierry Zamahon, President and CEO of AIMS, Professor Francois Angler, Nobel laureate, faculty and students of AIMS Rwanda, Excellencies, government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure for me to join you today for the launch of the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Rwanda. We are honored to host the AIMS headquarters here in Kigali. AIMS is the latest addition to a system of science and technology related institutions based here in Rwanda. They all have a common purpose: to provide opportunities for Africa's brightest minds to develop as problem solvers and innovators. There can be no more effective or better investment in Africa's future than in educating and empowering talented young people. We have to move beyond potential and create a workforce for Africa. It will only be done through innovative a shortcut. For Africa to participate meaningfully in a strong indigenous scientific and technological. This is why we are pleased that AIMS is taking on this role. Right here on the African, we reflect realities on the continent and better answer engagement and work through innovative teacher training techniques and putting mathematical scientists to work by partnering with investing of such as who will make an impact on our country's development. To achieve this, we are collaborating to develop an ecosystem of Pan-African institutions with transformative agenda. As part of the ecosystem of transformation, the next Einstein Forum continues to catalyze action to translate benefit and to showcase the progress that Africa is making in science. In 2016, gathering in Dakar, Senegal. The majority of participants were young emerging scientists, addition gathering will take place in Kigali in March 2018. It will focus on establishing a clear roadmap for how Africa will transform by leveraging technology and innovation. The digital revolution is transforming our world and creating multiple prospects for economic growth and societal progress. A new and important area of quantum information science and technology is emerging and is bound to drive the next global cycle of innovation and industrial growth. We must be positioned to obtain maximum benefit from this new area of science. In this regard, Rwanda will work with the aims to establish Quantum Leap Africa, the first research center in quantum sciences in Africa. This of scientific research in solving critical problems of development. The center will also build information technology of the future. Faster and achieve better results when we work together. AIMS and other scientific centers of excellence here in Rwanda and across Africa are excellent examples of collaboration and partnership. We must fully support these institutions so that they are sustainable and productive. The African Union has endorsed AIMS, and we all recognize that its educational model is an important tool for development and progress on our continent. In other words, let me come to conclusion by saying really that to appreciate sciences in general, you do not have to be a scientist. Probably those of us who are not appreciate it even more. We are, because I think those who take things for granted, but those who are not see the benefits firsthand. We are on the right path, and you can count on Rwanda as a committed partner. I wish to thank you for your very kind attention.
Thank you very much to our guest of honor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Now, in African culture, it's improper to speak after the head of the house has spoken, so that's pretty much where we leave it with the speeches. We'll have a group photo happening downstairs or outside the room for the key delegates. For the rest of us, kindly remain behind for just a few minutes, and then we shall go for coffee and return for the plenary sessions. Thank you.
nk'uko rero nyine mumaze kubikurikira kuri televiziyo Rwanda, nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika akaba amaze gufungura ku mugaragaro iki kigo aricyo Pan-Africanism Institute for Mathematics and Sciences. Ni ikigo nyafurika, icyicaro cyacyo gikuru kikaba kiri hano mu mujyi wa Kigali. Akaba rero ari ikigo nyafurika giteza imbere imibare ndetse n'ubuhanga cyangwa se ubumenyi, aribyo nyine imibare ndetse na science. Nk'uko rero nyine mu ijambo rya minisitiri w'uburezi yatangiye ubwo yajyaga guha ikaze umushyitsi mukuru w'uyu munsi, akaba yavuze ko iyi AIMS cyangwa se iki kigo kitigisha gusa imibare, ahubwo kinateza imbere cyane siyanse, tekinoloji ndetse n'ubushakashatsi, gukora ubushakashatsi. Nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika Paul Kagame rero akaba yavuze yuko yishimiye gufungura ku mugaragaro AIMS mu Rwanda, cyangwa se iki kigo giteza imbere ubumenyi ndetse n'imibare. Akaba yavuze yuko rero nyine ari iby'agaciro kuba icyicaro gikuru cyangwa se headquarters ziri i Kigali. Yashimiye rero nyine AIMS uburyo iha abanyeshuri b'abahanga b'abanyafurika kugaragaza ndetse no kongera ubwenge bwabo n'ubumenyi bwabo kubugaragaza, kuko nyine nk'uko twabyumvise muri bamwe mu banyeshuri twagiye dukorana bagirana natwe ikiganiro, bavugaga ko nyine imibare barayikunda baranayitsinda, ariko baramutse badahawe aho bisanzurira bongere bwa bumenyi, igitekerezo afite ibyo bikoresho bafite n'ubwo buryo, ntabwo ibyo ari byose ibyo ibitekerezo byabo byazashobora guteza imbere igihugu. Muri iki kigo AIMS cyangwa se ikaba irimo kwigiramo turutse mu bihugu 10, abandi nibo nk'uko zibivuga nibo bashobora kuzavamo Einstein utaha, cyangwa se umuhanga mu by'ubumenyi, uwo muhanga. Ubu rero nyine uko barushaho kwiga iyi mibare, abo twagiye tuganira bavugaga yuko kwiga imibare cyane bibafasha gufunguka no gushaka igisubizo cy'ikibazo cyaba gihari runaka. Abanyeshuri rero nyine bakaba nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika yashimiye AIMS kuba iha urubuga aba banyeshuri bakagaragaza ubuhanga bwabo, bakagura ubumenyi kurushaho. Ikindi rero AIMS umumaro wayo nongera cyane ubumenyi, yongera ubumenyi atari muri babandi barimo kwiga muri kaminuza gusa, ahubwo noneho no kuri barimo bigisha imibare guhera hasi muri primaire, nk'uko na Dr Gasenzegwa nawe yigeze kubivuga, avuga ko batanga amahugurwa. Wa perezida wa repubulika akaba yayashimiye cyane. Aya ngaya azatuma nyine n'abanyeshuri barimo kwiga bahereye mu byiciro byo hasi bazazamuka neza bafite buriya bumenyi, bakazarushaho kwishakamo ibisubizo, bakazarushaho gushaka ibisubizo by'u Rwanda, ibisubizo bya Afurika muri rusange, ubumenyi bujye buza guhahirwa muri Afurika yacu. Ikindi nanone nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika ashushe nk'usorezaho nuko hari inama ngari yabaye mu mwaka w'2016 ya Next Einstein Forum yabereye Dakar. Noneho rero ubu indi nama nk'iyi ngiyi, inama ngari mu mwaka w'2018 mu kwezi kwa Werurwe bakazayikorera i Kigali. Akavuga rero yuko nyine nk'abanyarwanda dukwiriye kwishimira cyane iterambere rya siyanse cyangwa se ry'ubumenyi, ry'ubuhanga mu gihugu cyacu. Akavuga ko rero AIMS izatuma siyanse zirushaho gutera imbere, kubera ko nk'uko twabyumvise hari n'abanyeshuri batiga muri AIMS ariko bavuga ati ningira igitekerezo, ningira ikintu numva nifuza kumenya cyane kugira ngo mpaze bwa bumenyi bwanjye, inyota numva mfite, ntabwo bizambuza kujya gusanga AIMS nkababwira igitekerezo mfite, cyangwa se niba ari n'ikibazo mfite nkakibabaza bakakinsubiza. Icyo gihe ubumenyi bwe buzaba burimo kurushaho gutera imbere. Ni ibintu byo kwishimira rero yuko iyi soko iri mu Rwanda, icyicaro gikuru kiri mu Rwanda. Twumvise ubuhamya bw'abize muri iri shuri bayize muri iki kigo, bavuga yuko bimaze kubageza ahantu nabo ubwabo batigeze batekereza ko bashobora kuba bagera. Nawe ushobora kuba ukunda imibare, ushobora kuba utsinda imibare, nyaboneka nyine ufite amahirwe, kuko mu gihugu cyacu mu Rwanda, muri Afurika, ubu bumenyi bushobora gutangwa, kandi nawe ushobora kuzaba umwe mu bahanga bashaka ibisubizo by'isi atari by'igihugu gusa. Reka dukomeze kubashimira mwe mwese mwakomeje yawe, mukomeze kugira ibihe byiza hamwe n'ikipe ngari ya televiziyo y'u Rwanda bari hano kugira ngo tubagezeho iki gikorwa. Reka dukomeze kubifuriza kurushaho kugira ibihe byiza no kunogerwa bateguriye.
rimwe twagiye
Okay, that's it. So I'm just here in Rwanda for a very short time, just for the weekend, and to come to Gisenyi and be by the lake with some friends. Rwanda, I first came in 2009, and at the time I was coming for work. I spent a bit of time in Kigali and also came to Gisenyi that time as well.
Donc à la base, je suis venue donc avec mon compagnon. On venait rendre visite à la famille, la famille qui habite ici. C'était surtout aussi pour avoir l'occasion de pouvoir voir les paysages et l'Afrique, parce que j'étais jamais venue vraiment en Afrique. Et donc ils nous ont donné la possibilité de découvrir ce pays et ces magnifiques collines et lacs et végétation et population.